Say goodbye to the 70s. Winds are picking up and temperatures are plunging. And yes, we're talking snow just in time for the morning commute.
I never ever imagined he would do anything like this.
A family in shock, a 12-year-old in critical condition, and all because of a dangerous social media trend.
It is not a game, it's like playing with fire is how I look at it.
The warning for parents tonight.
A teachable moment after a tough week. Vandals to face a 9/11 memorial in Broomfield. One dad sees an opening to pass on some important lessons.
You're a strong girl.
And overcoming all obstacles. How Coloradans are coming through for a 17-year-old badly hurt in an attack.
That's what gets us through. I'm in.
Well, brace for change. The glorious sunshine and 70s now giving way to snow.
We are expecting a 40-degree temperature drop as the storm moves in overnight.
Welcome to springtime in the Rockies, right? I'm Andrew Rio.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. Thank you for joining us for Denver7 News at 10.
And we want to get straight to Denver7 Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson on this Weather Action Day. Mike, this storm's not sticking around for long, but how will the morning commute look?
It's more the shock value, I think, that's coming in. Check out the numbers today. Warmest day of the year so far at 75 degrees. It was 86 at Burlington and La Junta, but it has already dropped now down to 33 degrees out at DIA. It's 28 at Cheyenne, 25 up at Laramie. Winds are whipping up to about 25 to 30 miles per hour. And there's the cold front racing through, and behind it, along with the colder air, there's already snow over parts of Larimer County, Boulder County, down into Gilpin and Clear Creek. That'll expand. It also extends back in toward the Vale area. So headlines overnight tonight, cold front racing to the south, much colder tomorrow, and light snow developing overnight. We'll have a kind of a wet and cold morning drive and not a very pleasant Tuesday. But you'll like the 7-day forecast. I'll have details in a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you. Tonight, people gathered outside Children's Hospital, Colorado to pray and hope that a 12-year-old boy pulls through. The family of Joshua Helieses say he is in critical condition after taking part in a social media challenge where people choke themselves until they pass out.
It's called the Blackout Challenge on TikTok, and videos, they're disturbing. In fact, we're choosing not to show them.
Friends say Joshua is a loving brother with a passion for acting. He dreams of one day joining the Army.
Josh is just this beautiful human being. If there's one thing I would describe him as, is his passion for, anything that he runs into.
Joshua's family says the news is devastating.
But they know he's a fighter, and his parents want to warn everyone. This online trend is not a joke.
I don't know why people would do such a thing. I don't know why people would post those things. Then maybe they're looking at it as a game. Maybe they're looking at it as a prank. Maybe they're trying to see their viewers could laugh about it.
And friends say it all hits especially hard because Joshua practiced CPR in case he ever needed to save someone else's life.
It's a tough time for first responders in our state. Of course, many called to Boulder last week to deal with that devastating shooting.
And now on top of that, Broomfield police say someone vandalized a 9/11 memorial in the city with anti-police messaging. As Denver7 CB Cotton reports, people are now showing up to let first responders know we appreciate you.
The grounds here are sort of a solemn area.
And a place meant to remember.
When there's a memorial here to sort of honor the lives lost.
It only takes one action to disturb the peace.
I wanted to bring them by and show them that something bad had happened to a place that it shouldn't have happened.
Vandalism happened here at Broomfield's 9/11 memorial. Most of the damage cleaned off, but on Monday evening, red paint and an anti-police message still left behind.
Anger for sure, frustration and sadness, shock, all of those emotions. Because, you try to think of who would do this and why they would do it.
City officials and police wondering the same thing.
When you think you can't be shocked, then you have something like this happens and you just can't imagine what would motivate somebody to do that for the reasons they did it.
Especially after last week's mass shooting in Boulder.
29 police officers from Broomfield responded to the Boulder shootings and murders. They put themselves in harm to make us safer and to reduce the number of casualties.
Officers say the vandalism happened Friday night into Saturday morning. Now they're asking the public to come forward with tips.
You would hope that there would be consequences to this that were commensurate with the crime.
It took one action to disturb the peace.
But the people that did this do not seem to understand that or appreciate it or even care.
That a father now wants to return.
It's just sad.
In Broomfield, I'm CB Cotton, Denver7.
1 week since we lost those 10 Coloradans, 10 brothers, sisters, and fathers and mothers. Of course, families tonight are still grieving, and people all across our state are trying to come to terms with the trauma of last week's shooting at the King Soopers in Boulder. And tomorrow, the city of Boulder plans to close its buildings and give workers a chance to honor those we lost. The city says all non-essential staff will get the day off to grieve, and those who do have to work tomorrow will get 8 hours of vacation leave at a later date, so they too can have time to reflect.
And today, hundreds gathered in Denver and thousands watched online as the Archdiocese of Denver held a funeral mass for Officer Eric Talley. He was the first to go into that store to face the shooter. And tomorrow, a memorial service will be held in his honor at Flatirons Community Church. Every truck from the Boulder Fire Department will take part in the procession. So neighboring fire crews are stepping up, offering to cover any calls in Boulder tomorrow.
It's simply a brotherhood and sisterhood between departments. It's something I know they would do for us in a second. It really hits close to home because it's really a big public safety family.
Our coverage of Officer Talley's memorial service begins at 4:30 a.m. At 10 a.m., we'll have special coverage of the procession, and the service starts at 11.
Come Friday, it's going to be vaccine season in our state for just about everybody. Governor Polis announced a plan today to move into phase 2 by the end of this week. So that means everybody 16 and older will be eligible to get the shot. And the governor estimates that everybody who wants to get a shot will be able to get one by the end of May.
Tonight, the future is looking brighter for a 17-year-old who survived a horrific attack in Aurora.
Jayla McDaniel spent weeks in the hospital. She was stabbed and left for dead at Sunburst Park in September.
And her recovery will be a long one. And thankfully, Coloradans are showing up to make that tough path a little easier.
It's a ride on a mission, filled with love and support to help Jayla rebuild a life full of dreams and ambitions. Jayla is 17 years old. Her mom is her biggest cheerleader.
She's there for me on good days, bad days, when I need her the most.
In early September of 2020, a man attacked Jayla with a knife near Sunburst Park in Aurora and left her for dead. She spent nearly 4 months at the hospital and lost movement in her legs.
And now doctors say she may never walk again.
We shared her story, and viewers donated to her Denver7 Gives Fund. We raised $5,000 for a specialty bed and a lift to help her get into her wheelchair.
There's no really words about how I feel. I'm just extremely grateful.
A support growing stronger.
Your fight is our fight, for no one in this family fights alone.
American Legion Riders Post 21 held a fundraiser.
She's back. Her uncle's a member here.
And now, a member of an even bigger team.
It's good to meet you.
Cheering her on.
My name is Dalton Reisner. I play for the Broncos, number 66.
Dalton Reisner donated to the silent auction after learning of Jayla's story and her fight for life.
None of us will ever know the traumatizing moment that she went through. And to see her here today, smiling, dressed up, happy, being kind to other people, amongst her circumstances, that inspired me.
The money will help pay for current and future medical expenses, a wheelchair-accessible van, and a specialty bike to help Jayla with rehab.
It's a bike stimulation machine that Jayla puts her legs in, and it stimulates it and moves her legs at the same time, and it gives her a lot of progress.
The family hopes to raise $50,000 on GoFundMe. To this family, every donation represents a new opportunity for Jayla to someday walk again. And she's ready to move forward towards a brighter future.
I think just college, graduation.
Addie Guajardo, Denver7.
A lot of people behind you there, Jayla. And that future also attends going to a Broncos game promised by Dalton Reisner. And while certainly it's been tough, Jayla's mom tells us through pool therapy, Jayla can now move her hips from side to side in the water. Also, Aurora police say one person was arrested for that attack.
I'm not a doctor or a lawyer, and I have a huge amount of debt.
Hundreds of thousands of Coloradans weighed down by student loan debt.
Students and their families are feeling this in their pocketbooks.
Some federal leaders want to write off part of that debt. Is that the right approach?
And is there something we can do to help right now?
They're too complicated. They're too confusing.
We're taking a 360 look at student loan forgiveness.
It was beautiful and warm today, but a big change tonight as a strong cold front comes in. I'll let you know how much snow to expect.